Hello everyone, my name's Dean, let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is March 29th, 2025. And it's over for altcoins. It's over in that this may very well have been the final capitulative move before an epic alt season, yielding many big green candles in the altcoin space. It's not yet over for Bitcoin, although we are likely to experience in the immediate short term a nice and welcome bounce in Bitcoin as well. So if all that sounds interesting to you, then watch until the very end. Hope everyone's having a great day. Let's get started with Bitcoin. On the 4-hourly time frame, we can see what I said last time played out almost exactly to the T. I said last time that I wasn't satisfied with this as being our breakout and this as being our sole retest of this resistance flipped into support. I said no. I've seen it so many times. What's more likely than not to happen is we get a compound retest, a flat corrective retest, and we come all the way back down to this level. And I also said, don't be surprised if we wick below it. Although I'm representing this level of resistance, this neckline of this inverse head and shoulders, as a line, the more adequate representation is a level. And that level is better or best represented by a rectangle. But I said, for the sake of expediency, I was just going to keep the line. All that is true. If you don't believe it, just go back and watch the previous video. Now, with that move, our read on Bitcoin's price action playing out almost exactly, what's next? Well, what's next is a breakout of this inverse head and shoulders to our target, which is the pink box. All right, that is exactly what I expect to happen. Okay, and when I say it's over for altcoins, not necessarily Bitcoin, well, if Bitcoin does indeed break out to this box and finds its way here, be very careful, because the next move that I see and that I've been talking about for months on this channel is a larger move to the downside, to our downside targets. Okay, and our downside targets are between 65 and 70K. So if Bitcoin does indeed break up and out to our level in the pink box, retest the bottom of this 100+ day distribution channel, what we can and will likely experience is a massive, strong move down, retesting this previous resistance as support, retesting, now let me go on a higher time frame, retesting this right here, previous resistance, multi-year resistance as support. Look at this massive inverse head and shoulders, retesting this as support. And again, be careful, even though we come down to this level, we may wick a little bit below to grab liquidity. So just be very careful for those of you on leverage. Be very careful for those of you with sensitive levels of liquidation. Just be mindful of that as Bitcoin breaks down after we hit our upside targets around 93, 94K. Be mindful of that move to the downside and how it can play out. Okay, so that's Bitcoin. It's pretty much following our plan, our trade plan, in lockstep. Now, that's cool, that's great, but the more interesting, the more really, I have no words to say, the more impactful the more impactful effect of Bitcoin finally making this move is that it yields a very strong move in the altcoin space. If I'm correct, what you're going to see is a massive initial move in the altcoin space right here as Bitcoin matriculates from this support level up to our target in the 93 to 94K region. Okay, so that's what I really want to talk about. It's over for altcoins. And why do I say it's over? Well, first, let me say this. Let's go to our total 3. Okay, let me say this. And by the way, for those of you who are in crypto mentorship and consultation group, I have updated this total 3 chart, and just click the link in the latest post. You should see this updated chart. My updated first target for total 3 altcoins is 1.05, not 1.112 trillion. In any case, this is really, really important because most people are in altcoins. Most people are exposed to crypto by way of the altcoin space, not necessarily Bitcoin. Bitcoin has given pretty sustained gains for the past 2 years. Altcoins, not so much. This first move should start to correct that, should start to balance that out. That's why it's over for altcoins. What's over? Well, altcoins not yielding any positive price action in general, right? I'm speaking in aggregate. That's over. Altcoins not making higher highs and higher lows. That's over. For a very long time, altcoins have been making either side-to-side consolidative moves or just straight up lower lows and lower highs, okay? And this is really what I want to focus in on. I love this right here. You can't see this exactly in every single altcoin chart, but the fact that the total 3 reflects this is very important, okay? I keep coming back to what happened on February 2nd. February 2nd was the capitulative move to initiate this now, let's see how long it's been, 54-day channel. Okay, this now 54-day channel of accumulation, whereby altcoins made a low, and that low was tested once, twice, 3 times. Very important, because when we look at corrective patterns, when we look at corrective accumulations, when we look at corrective distributions, I'm referring to Wyckoff terms here, but just consolidations in general, right, where the market's chopping side to side, it usually always happens in flavors of 3, just like corrective patterns. So again, you have one test. All right, this is one test. Sorry. Start again. 1 test, 2 tests, 3 tests. Ha, ha, ha. If you get that reference, kudos to you. So you have there 2 degrees of AB basing in a pivot, as Ralph Nelson Elliott described in Nature's Theory. Nature's Theory, I think, is called. His manual on not just Elliott wave analysis, but life in general. Nature's Treatise? I forget what it's called. It's literally over there. I look at it every day. But in any case, 2 degrees of AB basing in a pivot, or 3 pairs of AB bases. That means this consolidation is technically complete. The next step is a breakout to the top of the channel, retesting the midline, leaving the channel altogether, retesting the top of the channel, and then you're off to the races. So that's really exciting. Now, let's look on even smaller time frames, because this is a daily time frame. And why am I saying now? Well, the past 48 hours have been extremely difficult, extremely red. And I said last video, almost verbatim, that before experiencing a move in a certain direction, an impulsive move in a certain direction, a strong move in a certain direction, you should expect the same move, but in a muted or less. You should expect a move in the opposite direction. So let's say we're waiting for a big strong pump to the upside for altcoins, right? Like altcoins just ripping. Well, what we should expect is a move to the downside that's also impulsive, not equally as impulsive, right? But like also impulsive. And this is clearly impulsive. This is the definition of impulsive price action. It just keeps going in the direction of the move to the desired target until it reaches the desired target. And once it gets to the desired target, it's over. Okay? And that, there's a reason for this. Technically speaking, why do you experience that? Some people like to say it's to flush out leverage, it's to clear out the order books, whatever. There's a lot of different ways to explain it. The most straightforward technical explanation is that when you're looking at corrective patterns, right? Here you can say there's a corrective pattern. The end of every corrective pattern, be it ABC flat correction, WXY complex flat, WXYXZ compound complex flat, ABCDE. The last move is always impulsive, invariably. Okay, you're always going to get that C wave, Y wave, Z wave. It's always going to be impulsive. That's why you typically get a capitulative move before a change of direction. And that's exactly it. In my head, when I think of this concept, I think of a fireworks show. And towards the end of every fireworks show I've ever been in, they're just letting them off. Yeah, they're not like waiting. It's just like, like a finale. Boom, 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 boom. That's exactly what this is. And so it's over for altcoins because this was the capitulative move. That's what it's called, the final move of this correction that's actually correcting this inverse head and shoulders, broken out, retested. And I also talked about this last episode. I said, I'm expecting a move down here for two reasons. One, it's the retest of this inverse head and shoulders bullish reversal pattern. Two, you're regaining the boundaries of this channel, this 500-day channel. Just go back if you have any confusion whatsoever as to what I'm describing right now. You're reclaiming the boundaries of a channel that you lost. You lost 500 days worth of support right here. You regained it now and you retested it as support. You lost support. Now you retest. You lost support. Now you're regaining support. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing in altcoins. This is why it's so exciting. On the even smaller time frames, you can see here, you're getting another bullish reversal pattern on the smaller time frames. These patterns, these patterns, are time frame agnostic. You can see them on every time frame. So here, you got the capitulative move. You got an initial break, secondary break. You should get something like this. And at the end of the day, it should look like your quintessential inverse head and shoulders pattern, bullish reversal pattern. So that's what I'm seeing in altcoins. And to corroborate this read in the altcoin space, we should be seeing a top in the Bitcoin dominance chart. Because, right, if Bitcoin's truly going to hit our upside target and altcoins are going to recover, altcoins they have to start beating Bitcoin at its game and completely obliterating it in terms of market cap gains. And the Bitcoin dominance chart should show us that. And so again, here you have this multi-year resistance that we're at and that we've been at for quite some time. We lost, and we've just, for quite some time, ever since early February, we've been retesting previous resistance or previous support as new resistance, right? It was support lost, now resistance tested once, twice, 3 times. Again, flavors of 3, right? Look at this. You lost it early February, tested it once, tested it twice, 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. Ha, ha, ha. All right, so that's the 3rd test. And if that's true, then what we should be seeing is finally what we should be seeing is a proper rejection of this Bitcoin dominance chart, which we've been waiting for quite some time. Now, a quick look at our indicator, our stochastic RSI momentum indicator. We can see a top out of the daily stochastic RSI, right? It's overbought. The weekly should also, the weekly is also overbought. 4 hourly, 4 hourly is overbought. Hourly is overbought. Like literally every major time frame from intraday to, daily and weekly are overbought. So this Bitcoin dominance should be coming down finally. Goodness. Last we analyzed this, we were looking at this, and I said, oh, this is likely to break down. It didn't. It broke up and out, but still, the important part is that we're still under our multi-year resistance. So given that fact, and given the count that we just did on the higher time frame, it's likely that we get some sort of rejection here, okay? And that would obviously coincide with altcoins running much higher and faster than Bitcoin, right? So that's what I'm seeing in the charts. That's why I'm seeing it. Hope this was helpful. If this was useful, like, share, and subscribe. If you got value, consider buying me a coffee, i.e. tipping me through Venmo, Litecoin, Cash App, all at the pinned comment below, and consider joining my crypto portfolio mentorship and consultation service. Also can be found at the pinned comment below. Thank you, everyone. Hope you're well. I hope this does play out just like my previous call. I'd be very happy to see it, and I know you would too. So take care, and I'll see you next time. In the days while the world spins without me, arrived at the fork in the road, could turn back, repeat the same story, or march forward and embrace change and reflect upon his glory. I'm a selfish man, therein lies the whole problem. Torn between my actions and the will of my heart. I had to take it all apart to see where I stood as a man, to depart from this world and leave it in his hands. Come on. Yeah. Looks like I'm heading for the gold, y'all. Touring on a pothole road, y'all. I get it even if I didn't fit in, winning right up to the end, like I didn't even know, y'all. I have pop's genetics, working hard never to get it, like shit or better. Don't letting life get the best of my efforts. Instead I dedicated to bettering my steps, measuring investments. Watch me do it to the death, y'all. Run it.